Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Hugo, and today we're going to see what's going to be the best stocks for this week. We're going to do a market analysis and understand why Bitcoin went so down, and also we're going to do a performance of my portfolio. So stay around. Before we start the video, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Only 3.9% of my viewers are subscribers, and I need your help to reach that 1,000 subscribers. So smash that button. Let's get back to the video. So we're going to start the week with IEP. Econ Enterprise Depository. I don't know how this is spelled correctly. So the dividend yield is a 13.92%, which is quite hard to believe. Most of the dividends that we had this month or so, they went down, like AGNC, Main Capital. Most of the dividends went down around 1% or 2%. This was still maintained quite high for the normal. They pay quarterly in March, May, August, and November. They have overvalued in 52%, and this is quite risky. This has a really high overvalued at the moment. I won't buy at the moment because the stock is around $57 per each stock, and the fair value is around $32 per stock. So having this in consideration and overvalued over 52%, I won't buy this stock right now. I'll wait for a few more months or after the ex-dividend date. The ex-dividend date, it's on the 28th of May, so we can wait a little bit. Their financial health is quite good. They have around 1 billion of more assets than liabilities. They are quite good in terms of financial health, and the market sentiment is between a buy and a hold. If you want to go for this stock, I probably let go the stock a little bit more down, around the $40 per share, instead of the 57 that is at the moment, since the fair value it's around the $32. IEP operates in several sectors like energy, automotive, real estate, packaging. They are quite spread around the sectors and the market and the industry, which is good because if one of those sectors fail, at least this is have some diversification. Comparing with some stocks like Palantir, for example, which is only relying on one software. If that software fails, the Palantir goes down. The same thing with Corsair, for example. I'm giving you some examples. Like Corsair, they only have hardware. At the moment, it's quite difficult for any gamer to build any kind of rig because it's there's no stocks in terms of GPUs, and therefore Corsair won't sell so much hardware. And so this is a kind of an example. This is a good stock, but still overvalued. Like Tesla, it's still overvalued. The fair value is around 3,000, and we have still around the 6,000. Still overvalued, and for me it's a no. But it's something that we need to have on our watch list. And one of the risks that we have on this stock is the earnings in the past years have been decreased in around 7.5%, which is quite alarming, although I think this will be something that in the future will pass with COVID, and they will increase the earnings. Other stocks in this week, we still have Main Capital, which is one of the stocks that I like and I have on my portfolio. AGNC also on my portfolio. They are both on the 27th of May, and Main Capital has around 6% of dividend. They went down around 0.5% since the last since the last month. And AGN went up around from 7.5 to 7.78%, which is quite good. And bear in mind, these are stocks that pays dividends monthly, not quarterly as IEP. So now let's have a look into the markets to see what's going to happen with SP500 and also with BTC, with Bitcoin, which went down around 30% this week and actually affected my portfolio quite high. So let's have a look. So in terms of the SP500, this was a graph that we left on the past week. We had here a few markers here, which we thought that they won't go down, and based on the configuration that we had in the previous years and in the past. Unfortunately, that wasn't what we expected to went up. Actually went down another week, and we still around the $4,100. We're hoping this is going to be more up on the next week or until the end of the month, because if we go below this level, below the 41,000, we going to be in a big crisis, and this is going to be really ugly for the next week, or probably until the end of the year. Having this in consideration, we are seeing here the MAC. It's in a tendency to starting to go up. So we are assuming this is going to be something like this lines, and this as well, and probably more towards the end of July, the end of the month. If this doesn't go abrupt, we going to start to see a bull market instead of a bearish market that we have seen so far. If we move this to 1 hour, we are seeing here two tests of the resistance around the $4,150, and probably we're going to see another one probably the next Monday. Since we had a increase, we're going to be starting around this high and probably reaching that point. Let's see, which is going to be the average that we had so far. This is what I'm hoping. If it's going to be true, we don't know. We still need, let's hope that in terms of the SP500, there's no more loss coming out and increasing the inflation. And we're going to see if we're going to get out of this cycle, continue on in a flat, not increasing or decreasing, continuing flat in the next week or so. But I hope this is going to we're going to reach at least the average that we have in the past month. Although if we compare this, we still have here some head and shoulders. We have here as well an head and shoulders, here as well, here as well. So I'm assuming this is quite normal for what we are seeing. Some tests here, we had here some tests as well on the support, another one here, and I do believe this is going to up, but I've said the same thing last week and didn't went well. So once again, let's see what's going to happen. This probably is going to be a critical week, taking in consideration the news that is going to come up. Although some of the stocks are still quite high, still overvalued. Tesla is still overvalued, and other stocks are still overvalued comparing to the fair value that have around, like it's almost the growth stocks, and some of them are around more 100% overvalued, or sometimes can reach even the 200% overvalued. And those stocks need to go down, and they may affect the SP500. So let's see what's going to happen this week, and what other news is going to come up. So looking to BTC, and this was what we saw the last week. We thought that the value won't pass this support around the 42,000, and actually went down below, quite below, due to two factors. One was the tweets from Elon Musk, and I hope he stops tweeting about Bitcoin or any crypto, and only his job it's only about Tesla and SpaceX, but that's my personal opinion only. And also the fact that China has blocked any transaction with BTC, any purchase or whatsoever. So, and this had a big impact on the Bitcoin, and therefore went down quite a lot. This is not the first time this happens. In 2017, I think this happened as well. 2006, I think it happened as well, with China trying to block this. The cryptocurrency and the transactions. This was the war, basically. We have a war with the fintech and crypto, and this was affected quite a lot in the past few weeks. I think this is not going to be the tendency in the future to continue going down. We still do have a big market cap. This is quite hard for this crypto go down. Being the primary crypto, probably some other altcoins will disappear completely, like Dodge. I don't know if it's going to disappear, but it's useless. And I don't know actually what's going to happen with BTC. We did have a support around, let me move this to 1 day. We did have a support around the 43k. We reached that point. We had a test over here. I hope this is going to continue up. Otherwise, we're going to continue to do some average. I've done some average around the 45k. It went down. We're still negative at that point, but the overall it's quite high because I bought around the 11,000, and those who copy me, they bought around that value as well, except if you copy me more recently, of course you're not going to buy at 11,000, you're going to buy at 33 or the price that is at the market at the moment. So to be fair with you, I really don't know where this is going forward. I'm hoping that the 30k will be the limits. Another graph that I want to show you, it's actually the flow model. This flow model tells us what is the fluctuation of the coin and what has been happening in the past few years. We actually had the same thing here around 2013. We had the same here, similar in 2017. We had something similar in 2018. So this is quite normal. We're going to reach this point, the 100,000, probably in the next year or so. More towards the end of the year, as this has been the tendency of the coin in 4 years, the period. This is for a 4-year period, which we reach a new top high, and we do believe that the next September, November, probably we're going to reach the new record high of 100,000. This was a correction, as we have been here. A few corrections, we had here a few corrections here as well, so this is quite normal. It's not something that we need to be too much of a concern. Of course we need to have a concern, but you need to do your own due diligence and have money in balance so you can do some average. The same thing that I've done. Of course Bitcoin has suffered this kind of hits for a long time, since it's not going to be the future, etc. This is something that has been talked for a long time. I don't think that that's going to be the case. Bitcoin is going to stay here for at least for a couple of years. If it's going to be the coin of the future, we still don't know. Probably if the Bitcoin will change from a proof of work into a proof of stake, probably this will be completely different. There's a lot of talk going on around the renewable energies, and this is going to be a concern because at the moment it's costing a quite high energy consumption. Comparing from other countries in the worldwide, more than Iceland is costing, the network is costing more energy than actually a country only. So this is something, some technologies that's going to be in the future. This is going to be change. Ethereum is going that way. If this is going to happen, the same thing with Bitcoin, we still don't know. But I think this is not the end of the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin is going to stay here for another few years, and the price is going to up in the next week or month and follow the same tendency that we're seeing here. So if you want to copy all my trades, you can do it by going to eToro and put my nickname UK Nights. You can do this on the search bar, and you can copy all my trades. I do recommend to copy with $1,000 at least, and you can see that simulation on the spreadsheet that I'm going to show at the end of the video. And this at the moment is going to be the best time for you to buy because the market is quite low, and we're going to get some stocks on the dip, and you're going to have a look into the performance of my portfolio right now. So this was the performance of my portfolio this week. It wasn't the greatest, actually was the worst performance that I have in a couple of months and weeks. Due to two factors. One was the Bitcoin, which went down around 30%. New stocks and growth stocks like ARK, Palantir, etc. went down around 13%, or more than actually 13%, around 15%. And this impacts on my portfolio. And also the energy sector went around minus 2%, which had impact of my portfolio because around 15% of my portfolio is exposed to energy, and that's why it got affected as well. So the market went up around 0.04%, which was almost nothing, and my portfolio was around 2.4% less than the average market. And I need to have here another note, which is the UK market went down around 7% as well, which I have some stocks on UK, therefore they went down, like BATS, Unilever, IAG as well, they went down a couple of decimals this week. Since inception, we went down around 3 points. Since the last week, we had around 18%, and now we have around 15%, which is 14.96. The top 5 stocks this week was Twitter with the increase of 5.26%, Palantir with an increase of 3.34%, but bear in mind they went down around 16% minus, so it's normal that they went up only 3.3% this week. It's not enough in terms of the overall performance of this stock. They went down quite a lot. Broadband, they went down as well in the past week, but this week they went up for 2.18%. The World Gold Trust, the gold finally got up, so they went from the red line, and now they have around 1.66%, which on my portfolio is around 3% positive around that. And the AGNC investment had increase of around 1.76% as well. Other performance indicators and actions. We had the payments this week. Actually, this week was quite good in terms of payments. May is one of the biggest payments month that I have. So it's Apple, ABBV, BATS, which is British Tobacco, Energy Transfer, Main Capital, and Realm. We received this month. Realm is also monthly, but we didn't receive nothing so far. This is the first time that we're receiving from Realm. New acquisitions, I don't have nothing. Actually, this is not true. I did acquire other just yesterday. And open orders, we still don't have any open orders. I want to do some analysis on the market to see what's going to be the tendency for this week, and where I need to see where I'm going to put my money. And probably I'm going to need to sell and close some orders where I have quite profits, and probably reinvest that money on other stocks that are more affected. For example, as close orders, I had around Palantir. I've closed Palantir with around 20% of profits. So this was an order that I had. I didn't close entirely Palantir. Palantir I still have. This was one of the orders that I had opened that I had 20% of profit, and I managed to close in order to reinvest on other stocks. WBA, exactly the same thing. I've closed a few positions where this position was with a profit of 63%, and XLE, they went down before I've sold this, but I still have got profit around 77%, but I still have a lot of stocks on this ETF, and it's one of the ETFs that I like more. In terms of averaging, I've done some this week, other Amazon, MG, and BTC as well during the drop of the BTC this week. In terms of the top payers, is still ET, Energy Transfer. The top dividend yield is still Realm. They went down from 14% to 11.57%, but it's still the highest dividend yield that I have on my portfolio. The next to this, it's AGNC, which we already saw this week as well, that the ex-dividend it's going to be this week. The portfolio, it's undervalued in around 41%, so we still have the same value that last week, and the future growth, it's still the 8% estimation. The stock with the highest volatility is going to be Main, and the lowest volatility is still Unilever. So now let's have a look into the spreadsheets. So if you're seeing this spreadsheet for the first time, this spreadsheet, it's available in the description where you can download to your computer and do your own simulations. I always update the spreadsheets with on the Friday after the market close, where I update the values of the stocks and also the percentage of the positions that I have on that stock. And also here during the week, I do mention here what was paid during that week. So in terms of payments, we have here Apple was paid actually on time on May. I think this was paid at the beginning of the month, and eToro only paid me now. ABBV, we also got paid. BATS also paid. Actually, this is quite strange because we're supposed to be on June, not in May. but for some reason we already received the payment from BAT. Energy Transfer, we also received the payment. Main Capital, we received the payment for this month. And also Realm, we start to receive the first payment, although I have mentioned here all payments for the other previous months, but this is not true because I only acquired a Realm around the last month or so, and the ex-dividend date was already passed, so I only received Realm this month, referring to April. And you can see here how much you're going to win per month with a 1000 investment, and what is going to be your total profit per year. Bear in mind, this is after tax, because the tax are being here calculated, so that's why this is already values after tax. So this is the full value that you're going to receive. Of course, this is only an estimation. Some of the values can change, like the percentage and the value that they pay you per month. They can change because of some of them are more volatile, and they can change the dividends month by month or quarter by quarter from up and down. So that's why sometimes this is not quite the value, but usually it match. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed this week tips. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the like. And once again, thank you guys. See you next week. Cheers. Bye bye.